I'm from Louisiana. We met in Louisiana. We've been to New Orleans several times. Come with us as we explore outside of the French Quarter to find some new activities and great eats.
We're here at the Sculpture Garden. It's connected to the Museum of Art. It opens up at 10 o'clock, so we're going to be heading in shortly and go see what they have.
But it almost makes it look like that sculpture is like in the water here.
That's pond scum. It is definitely in the water.
It kind of looks like firm. It looks like land.
It does. It looks solid. It looks like
the pond scum is so thick it looks like land. One of the things you'll never escape here in New Orleans is the water. There's water everywhere, the river, the lakes. So even here in City Park, there's waterways, like even here walking through the Sculpture Garden, we're walking over water. And so it's one of the things I love about the city is just how central water is to the city.
We are checking out the Sculpture Garden. It is a really good size. Oh, turtle. Here, come here. Oh, he booked it. He like legged it as soon as I got close to him. He missed it. There was a turtle right there. I wonder what else we can see.
Where'd it go off to?
Oh, giant snake.
No, that's just, that's not a snake. You can't see it in the water, but it's just like a log. Ryan.
Okay, I'm gonna give you guys my thoughts on Café du Monde in New Orleans. We've been here a lot. We've been to Café du Monde a lot of times. We've been to most every Café du Monde in the New Orleans area. So I'm gonna tell you a couple things. One, there's other beignet places you can go to. You don't have to do Café du Monde, although it is definitely the most famous. But if you for sure want to try Café du Monde out, this one is in City Park. As you can see behind me, there's buses moving in and out, dropping people off. It's very, very popular because City Park is also a popular destination. Also, buses can get in and out easy. So you're probably gonna wait here. You're also probably gonna wait in the French Quarter because it's just busy all the time with people waiting to get in. So I don't really know which one is a better option between the two. There are other ones in the city. There's one on Veterans Boulevard that you could go to. We've been in there multiple times. It's almost never busy. So if you have a car and you really want that Café du Monde experience, but you don't want to have to wait in a long line, you can go to Veterans Boulevard. You can also try one of the other beignet places. They're almost never busy, except for maybe a few people in line. So, but City Park Café du Monde is right here. You can check it out if you want to do Café du Monde. Johnny, what kind of turtle is this?
A tortoise.
What kind of tortoise is this?
Galapagos?
It looks like a Galapagos tortoise.
It's big, yeah. I'm kind of hoping there's not like any alligators. Like,
yeah, now they have easy access to your face. They don't have
right? They just
normally
go,
you have to worry about them getting your legs. One could come out of
or
the
your
water.
arm as I'm doing this, like.
Yeah. Be like, I'll take that hand, thank you.
No, thank you. This Sculpture Garden is so expansive. It just like keeps going and going and going. There's like all these little windy trails, and like you really should allow like enough time to see it all. One of the things that I just am really liking about the Sculpture Garden is it just really feels like so intentional with all the pieces and how the garden is like built around the pieces. But even like there's a new installation here, so even after the fact when they're adding one in, it's like looking like it's like built into the gardens. Everything's just so well planned. It's like really amazing.
We just finished up at the Sculpture Garden. It was really, really great. There's a good blend of classical and modern art. There is a lot of modern art, but at the beginning of the garden, especially at the main entrance, has some great looking classical sculptures that you can check out.
I just thought this garden was incredible, and the sculptures were cool to see, but even more so than that was the design of the gardens, the use of the landscaping, the use of water and bridges. It was just like a really cool place to spend some time walking through. I would say probably allow at least an hour, maybe 2, if you really want to take time here and like sit and just admire the art and relax a little bit. We have a beautiful day today. I know most days in New Orleans are hot, but if you have a beautiful day, find a beautiful day and come spend some time here. All right, we had a great meal at New Orleans Food and Spirits. We always leave so stuffed. They have huge portions here. We got the seafood gumbo, potato salad, a stuffed eggplant with shrimp and crab meat, stuffing and a shrimp sauce on top, as well as an oyster po' boy, and it was delicious, as always.
Trying to figure out how to eat this. We are here at Morning Call Coffee Stand. It's in town, surrounded by graveyards actually. So a little bit different vibe around here, but we're gonna try something different for beignets. I'm gonna get some beignets. I'm gonna get a coffee, cafe au lait. I've been looking forward to it for a while. I always love getting them when we come. So let's check it out.
We just finished grabbing some beignets at Morning Call, and this place is like surrounded by all the historic cemeteries. It's like kind of cool because you can look out the windows and see the view of the cemeteries, and some of the cemetery like tours meet here, I think, because there was some tour groups gathering, but we just popped in and grabbed some beignets because it's also close to City Park, which is where we were this morning, and we're headed back there this afternoon. These beignets were good. They come like not sugared, so if you want to control your sugar levels, this is a good choice. Personally, I don't like them when they're already pre-drenched in sugar, but these were still a good option, and you can sugar them at your table. The hot chocolate was like so super sweet and creamy. It was good, and Ryan got the frozen cafe au lait, and he said it was good as well. So good stop if you're near the cemetery, wanting to tour the cemeteries, or nearby City Park. So yeah. We're back in City Park, and we are walking to go find the Singing Oak. City Park is divided into 2 parts. The one part has kind of more of the cultural things like the art museum, the sculpture garden, and then there's the back half, like the back part of the City Park has all the recreational things like tennis courts, and we saw equestrian activities and lots of biking, walking paths, disc golf, golf course, things like that. This is the Singing Oak. It's just a giant oak tree with big wind chimes, and so when the wind comes through, you can hear it singing. There's lots of people here just having picnics and hanging out, and I mean, they're probably taking advantage of it being a cooler day, because it really is beautiful out here today.
We heard some music while we were in the park. Well, I mean, we heard the music from the tree, the chimes and everything, which was really cool sounding. But in the back, I could also hear other music, and at first I was like, is it jazz music? You know, because we're in New Orleans, and so sometimes there's like there was jazz playing at Cafe du Monde. But then I was like, no, it's something different. And then we looked across the street, and there's a giant Oktoberfest going on at the Deutsch House, which it looks like it's like a social club, but they're doing this 3-week deal where they're celebrating Oktoberfest. So we're just gonna spontaneously go over there and check it out and see what we can find for Oktoberfest. So let's see what we can find. Yep.
Yes.
Very. All right, so we just finished going through Oktoberfest here at the Deutsch House. It was way more crowded than I thought it would be. If you guys don't know anything, or don't know much about me rather, I'm not a huge fan of crowds. And so it sounded really cool, but it was very, very busy. We did have a lot of fun though. There was a lot of food. We didn't try any because we just ate lunch, but there's a lot of good smelling food there, a lot of beer if you like beer. The dog parade was awesome. We watched a ton of dogs in really fun looking costumes walk by, and that was really great to watch. So it was worth it, worth braving the crowds just to see that.
After we left City Park, we looked for a place to come eat that would be close, and we found this place called Katie's in Mid-City, and we just loved it. It was such a nice, cute little patio. We got to sit outside and just enjoy our foods. I got the ribs, and they had like a blackberry barbecue sauce, and they were so delicious, and Ryan got a pizza that he loved. We also had their char-grilled oysters. They weren't very big, but they were tasty. This is a great place to just hang out and watch some sports. They actually have the football games on, and it's like a little neighborhood place, and we would recommend it, especially if you had a day like ours where you spend it in the city park.
So for those of you that don't know me, I'm a big fan of the sweet stuff. I love coffee. I love pretty much anything dessert related. So we found a gelato place. We wanted something light. Well, I wanted something light. Johnny's kind of just going along. But I wanted something light to kind of top off the day. So there's a really, really highly rated gelato place that we're headed to right now. And we're going to see what they have.
We're walking because it's a nice night, number one, and there's street parking here because we're in a neighborhood. So we're just taking a little 7-minute walk down the street, and this is just like such a cute little area. You can like see all the little houses and all the architecture in the neighborhoods, and so come check it out. Go get some gelato.
Okay, so my thought was I would get a light, refreshing dessert like gelato, but then I walked in and they had all these cakes and pastries and cookies and everything else. And so now I have tiramisu and an Americano coming on the way, and we got some cookies to try. So this backfired a little bit, but it looks delicious and I'm sure it's gonna be great. Okay, so this is actually really good. The tiramisu is like, it's more what I consider, I'm not an expert, but more what I consider to be an authentic tiramisu. Like the cake is actually soaked in espresso. The cocoa on top is just cocoa, it's not sugar. So it's like, they don't just dump a ton of sugar into it like a lot of American places would be tempted to do a tiramisu. It has like all the basic core tiramisu flavors and nothing else. So it's actually very light and very fluffy and not like overly rich or sugar. So maybe it's exactly the light dessert that I needed.
Right, that was a good gelato place.
It was a great gelato place.
I didn't really need dessert, but I got some anyway. I had the pistachio nut and the bocce, and it was like hazelnut chocolate, and they were so good. They had like chunks of the hazelnuts and chunks of the pistachios in the gelato. So good. And then when we came out, we were treated to music. So that's the joy of New Orleans, is you never know what you're gonna find. And then it's just a party in the street. That wasn't really a parade, but it's just like
it's a random party, yeah.
Yeah, random party.
People are dancing, people are grooving, just enjoying the music. And I think it's also, you know, it's really different to me because it's just brass instruments. It's not like someone out there with the boombox like you would see like in maybe in New York City or something, or
yeah.
You know, you might see like some people out dancing,
yeah,
or a guitar or something like that. Like it's really, I mean, I don't really know, tell me in the comments if I'm wrong, but I don't really know of any other places in the United States where the majority of the music you're gonna see is just all like brass instruments.
Like a brass band.
Yeah, it's like a brass band just randomly jamming in the street and people dancing to it. as well. Like, not just like they're performing for tips, like it's literally a party and a brass band is the center of it. That feels very
I mean, that is New Orleans. Like, that's why people come here, right? That's why you come to New Orleans.
Yeah. So we're gonna
Sorry, we almost fell walking down the sidewalk.
Yeah, the dangers of vlogging while walking.
Yes, and it's getting dark, so.
But it is getting dark. We're gonna wrap it up tonight. We're gonna head back to our hotel, and we'll pick it back up in the morning.
Today we're spending some time in Uptown and also going to be near the Garden District. We're starting our day at this restaurant called Atchafalaya. We're going to have brunch here. It had great reviews and the menu looks really good, so I'm excited to try it. We're on our way to Mardi Gras World. We're in the car, but I forgot to tell you guys what we ate for breakfast at Atchafalaya. So we asked for recommendations and they said the shrimp and grits was like the #1, that they're the best in the city. But I'm not a huge fan of shrimp and grits. I just wasn't feeling it this morning. So then he suggested the duck hash, and both Ryan and I both wanted to get the duck hash. It was sweet potatoes with duck confit and like blackberries and onions, and I won, so that's what I ordered. I did share some with him, but he had the risotto with pork and Parmesan cheese, and they both had poached eggs on them, and his was really savory and mine was a little bit sweet just because of the sweet potatoes, but like they were so good. We also got a biscuit on the side, which was not like my favorite. It was tasted good, had good flavor, but it was like really dense. It wasn't super light and fluffy. But they also had given us cornbread before that we didn't know we were gonna get, but that was delicious. So don't order a biscuit, just get the cornbread. But there were so many good things, like good looking things on the menu, like we wanted to try all of it. So anyway, that's a good spot. Go with your friends and share. All right.
Ready for Mardi Gras World, Johnny?
I am ready. Let's go. We just finished taking the tour at Mardi Gras World, and it's about 45 minutes. It starts with a 15-minute video about the history of Mardi Gras and like the Mardi Gras World and their involvement with the Mardi Gras floats and parades, and then you have a tour guide that takes you through the process, and you get to hear about how they build the floats and build the all the decorations, and it was just a really cool thing to learn about and all the things to see. Apparently they make floats for like casinos and restaurants and hotels and other things too. Like we learned the Chick-fil-A cows that you see on the billboards, those are made here at Mardi Gras World. So they make them out of fiberglass, paper mache, and then they prime them, paint them, or styrofoam. So they make them out of fiberglass or styrofoam, and then the styrofoam is more preferred because they can change them and reuse them. Then they cover them with paper mache and prime them and paint them. And it's just really cool to hear about the process and just to see some of the examples of some of the amazing creations that the artists have come up with.
We're about to do a free tours by foot tour. We've done some of these both in the US and also overseas as well. They're a really great way to get to know the local culture and what's around you. So we're gonna walk through the Garden District with our guide and see what's going on.
We're about to go see Sandra Bullock's house. We're learning about all the celebrity houses in the Garden District, and we're about to take a look at Sandra Bullock's house. I love her, she's so cute. We just wrapped up our tour of the Garden District with free tours by foot. And free tours by foot, I think it costs like $4 per person to book it, but it's basically a tip-based service. And so you just fill like whatever it's worth and you give them whatever you think it's worth. So anyway, our guide was Andrew, and he was excellent. He was so knowledgeable and just conversational, and he answered everybody's questions, and we just learned a lot. I've been to the Garden District numerous times, like I've ridden through on the streetcar, I've walked around it, but I like learned a lot today about the history of it, and just we got to see some celebrity homes like John Goodman and where Anne Rice used to live, and Sandra Bullock, and then we also got to hear about the history. So all these houses, most of these houses were built like pre-Civil War, like the big
the big homes were like pre-Civil War, so he was just talking about pre-Civil War history, and then like how the Civil War impacted this area, and just how it relates to slavery and immigrants, and it was just like a really informative tour. The Garden District is a great place to walk around just anyway, like if you want to just have a leisurely walk. It's beautiful, it's green there. I mean, it's called the Garden District, but literally there's beautiful trees, beautiful like greenery everywhere. The architecture, so much interesting architecture. You can see different, like he was pointing out, Italian architecture, Greco or like Roman-esque style, and
Check out the free tours by feet.
oh, and the cemetery.
Oh yeah.
Oh, and when he also like told us about the cemeteries, and the cemetery, like, so you don't have to take a cemetery tour, you can do this one.
Yep.
And it because he told us about how, like, why the cemeteries are built up, and we saw the Lafayette Cemetery, and he explained the burial process. So yeah, this is just really informative, really interesting.
Great.
When it's warm in New Orleans, you gotta get a snowball. And we are gonna try a place we've not been before, but it has good, big history in this area. It's called Hanson's Snow Blizz. We're standing in line out in the sun. They get you really hot and sweaty and sunny, so that you're ready for the biggest snowball they have.
It's a marketing scheme.
Yeah.
This is satsuma with cream of coconut and a little bit of condensed milk. It's very good.
And I got pineapple with cream of coconut. They do not chidge on the syrups.
No, they do not. It's really good.
And the ice is like super melty, like soft, melty. This is probably one of the best snow cones / snowballs / shave ice I've ever had. It's like competitive with Hawaiian shave ice, like so soft. It's like literally like you're eating snow. And they make all their flavors fresh and like in-house, and so it doesn't taste like artificially flavored. And it they were really nice and helpful in helping to determine the flavor that would be best for you. So yeah, if you're like in uptown, and or even if you're not, drive over to Hanson's.
So we're actually in town this weekend in New Orleans because my dad is having a retirement celebration, and it's on Monday night. So we stayed our first couple nights out in La Place. So this is a budget tip for you. Like, if you want to stay down in the French Quarter, stay in the French Quarter. Stay downtown. It's awesome. But if you want to save a little bit of money and you have a car, you could stay out in the suburbs or out even a little further. So we stayed in a little town called La Place the last 2 nights, and it was a lot cheaper.
Way cheaper.
And we just drove our car in, and it was about 25 minutes into the city, and we just found parking because most of the things, well, everything that we've done on this trip so far is not in the French Quarter, so we really only had to pay for parking one time. So my parents came in tonight, and we met them in Metairie, which is just right outside of New Orleans, at a place called Zia's Rotisserie. And Zia's,
which is a regional chain.
It's a regional chain in Louisiana, and it's a good place to eat. Like, they have really good food. I got like their rotisserie ribs and chicken, like a little sampler plate. Their corn grits are like really delicious. Like, whatever you get, try their corn grits. And then
I got a pepper jelly chicken salad, which was really, really good. Not very Cajun or Creole, but it was delicious. It was light. It had spinach on it, and it was great. It really fit the bill for what I was looking for to eat. So
yeah. So anyway, and then we came over to a little ice cream shop called Creole Creamery, and
that's why I had the salad.
Oh yeah,
because I wanted some. I mean, if you've been watching this channel, you probably realized I like my desserts. So I didn't want to go back to the room tonight empty-handed without some kind of sweet treat. So yeah, so that's why we went to Creole Creamery.
Yeah, so Creole Creamery is like an ice cream shop, and they're several around the area, and they always have like really good seasonal flavors and just kind of like local type, like themed flavors and stuff.
I got a affogato from Creole Creamery. It is a peanut butter fudge pie ice cream with some peanut butter on top and espresso poured over it. I'm super excited about eating this. I like affogatos. I make them at home sometimes. So it's super tasty. I'm looking forward to trying it out here.
I got a scoop of the pumpkin praline, and it tastes very fall-like. It's like a pumpkin spice latte with no coffee. It's good.
We are here at the Chalmette Battlefield and National Cemetery. It's part of the Jean Lafitte Historic Area Park. It's part of the National Park Service. It's got multiple locations, but this is one of them. It's right outside of New Orleans. It's where the Battle of, the Battle of New Orleans was fought as part of the War of 1812. So it looks like there's a lot to do out here. There's a visitor center. There's a historic like antebellum mansion looking thing back here. There's the rampart that you can walk. It looks like there's lots of signs out telling you what was going on for the battle. So we're gonna go into the visitor center. We're gonna check it out, get some history on the battle itself, and then we'll walk around the grounds.
These live oak trees, there's signs you shouldn't climb on the branches, but the branches like hang really low to the ground, and they all have this like really, you know, the Spanish moss hanging on them. It's just so like picturesque. So come out here and take some pictures. This is the Malice Beauregard house, and it was originally built in the 1830s, and it was used as a visitor center at one point, but now it's kind of just looks like it's like been left to just be. It's like not being used for anything right now. So
this battle was a huge part of Andrew Jackson eventually becoming the 7th president of the United States. It made him a national hero due to the preparation and maybe a little bit of luck on the side of the Americans and their unwavering spirit in battle. The British thought they would run as they started moving towards the ramparts. They didn't. They stood there and returned fire. So in the end, only 20 Americans actually lost their lives in this battle, where tragically 2,000 British soldiers lost their lives in the fight before they were able to retreat and pull out. Shortly after, of course, the war ended because of, largely in part to the Battle of New Orleans. After you visit the Chalmette Battlefield, you can come over next door into the cemetery. This cemetery was established by Abraham Lincoln post-Civil War as a place to bury veterans from the Union. It's a national cemetery. You can drive through it. There's a memorial at the end, and you can just look around at some soldiers that fought bravely, gave their lives for our country. We're doing some more exploration here outside of the French Quarter in New Orleans. And before we got started on our exploration today, we stopped by Pontilly Coffee. It's in the Gentilly neighborhood of New Orleans. It was really excellent. We came in, we ordered some nolachis, which are kind of like kolaches if you're familiar with this, but it's their own spin on it. We got a crawfish one that was really good. It had like crawfish stuffing in it. We got a Southwest chicken one that had a little avocado lime sauce on the side that I'm a big fan of. And we got a ham and cheese one as well, along with the coffee and Johnny's signature chai tea latte that she likes to get everywhere she goes. But it was really, really good. They had a lot of other things there too we could have ordered. But the neat thing about it is that they use the proceeds from it for addiction recovery. So it's a great place to support a good cause, but also get some great coffee and great food as well. There's not a lot of other things in the area over there to do, so it's not a place I would necessarily hang out in for more than just grabbing some coffee and snacks, but it's a great place to stop by if you happen to be nearby.
After we explored the battlefield, we wanted to get a quick bite to eat, and we remembered seeing this little creperie place, this little cafe next to Commander's Palace when we were on our Garden District tour yesterday. So we came to check it out. It's called La Petite Bleue, and we split a savory crepe with chicken salad, curry chicken salad with chow chow and
spinach and a bananas Foster crepe. It was like a bananas Foster with ice cream. But this is a really good place because they have like Commander's turtle soup and some of the, it's like an offshoot of Commander's. So if you want Commander's Palace, some of their foods without the dress code, you can come check this little place out.
We've been to the aquarium before, but we've never been over to this side of town where the zoo is, and so we're looking forward to checking out the zoo and seeing what it has to offer.
Well, I'm only like 5'3", so.
The elephant is larger.
They said that one's 8 feet. That's not really that tall. 9 feet, yeah.
9 feet is pretty tall.
8 to 9, well, yeah, but not that bad.
I don't know.
He got the whole.
I wonder if his bite is like really strong. You know how like snapping turtles have like a really sharp bite.
Yeah.
I wonder if tortoises are the same way. Like if they're like.
I don't know. Maybe.
Because
I'm sure they do.
Look at how clean those bite marks are on the leaves.
Yeah, I'm sure they do.
Like you wouldn't want to stick your finger in there.
Look, there's flamingos over there. This is like an exhibit.
No, it's not. This is just those are natural flamingos.
No.
They're wild flamingos. Yeah, sure they are.
Wild flamingos?
Yeah, wild flamingos. Flamingos exist in the wild?
Not here.
Not in Louisiana?
I don't think so.
Okay, if you know how many wild flamingos exist in Louisiana, tell us in the comments.
I thought they lived in, like...
Where do they live?
Florida.
Only in Florida?
I don't know.
What stops them from leaving Florida?
You told me they can't fly.
They can walk. They can fly a little bit.
You think the flamingos are walking from Florida?
On I-10, yeah. Maybe they hitchhike. Maybe they can fly. Maybe they clip their wings. Do they clip their wings and things?
I don't know.
Maybe they clip their wings.
We're ignorant about flamingos.
Tell us about. We need a flamingo expert.
We're flamingo ignorant.
If you're a flamingo expert, tell us what.
I mean, I normally see them in people's yards.
Yeah. And are they flying?
No, I mean like plastic flamingos.
Oh. So
like lawn decoration.
So not flying.
No.
Okay. It says the lagoon is home to Caribbean flamingos and a single brown pelican.
Oh, so the exhibit is for Caribbean flamingos and a single brown pelican that is an amputee, had a wing amputated and was rehabbed. These are not Caribbean flamingos that flew in for the Caribbean. But it does say flying's welcome. Everything else, all the other birds have just flown in to
just
hang
chill.
out.
It's a nice spot. And there's a bunch of turtles. I don't know if you guys will be able to see them.
Yeah, there's a lot of turtles out there.
There's a ton of turtles just out sunning. It's night monkeys.
Oh, I like monkeys. Have you seen our video where we were in Minneapolis and St. Paul? We went to the Como Zoo and Conservatory, and I shared there about how monkeys are my favorite animal to watch. Let's go see them.
We couldn't really, it was hard to film in there because it was so dark.
That was a little disappointing.
But we got to the first little exhibit, and there's a bunch of bats flying around, and Johnny's like, are monkeys bats?
No, that's not what I said. I said, are they calling the bats monkeys? Are they trying to say like night monkeys and it's really bats? But Ryan's like, no.
Like that was like the secret nickname for bats is night monkeys.
There was one little monkey we could kind of see like far away, but all we saw was his little hands going.
There were some porcupines though.
Yeah, there were some porcupines.
And we saw an axolotl and a chinchilla.
Oh, and these giant roaches. They were like this big.
Giant cockroaches that were super big.
Cave roaches.
Yeah. If you're into cockroaches, 2 thumbs up. This is the vaulted passageway that's in the Arch of Ladner. So it's like an authentic, like this actually exists in real life.
Well, I mean, that's not authentic, but it's like a
Right,
reproduction.
It's reproduction, but like it's based on something that actually exists. Like they didn't just throw up like an archway.
Yeah.
They were like, let's put an archway up that actually would be relative to the animals that are around it.
Yeah, because this is South America.
Yeah.
It's cool.
Very cool. Very well thought out.
And if you're a kid, you can go through the tiny trail.
Yeah.
The tiny gate.
Or if you're a short man, you can go through the tiny trail. It reminds me of Animal Kingdom. Like if you go to, which we have some videos. Do we we have a video on Disney? I have a video on Disney you can watch on our channel. And we're in Animal Kingdom for a little bit, and it's super immersive. Like, the continents are all really clearly divided, even by vegetation in the walking areas. That's what this reminds me of. Like, you feel like you're in Asia, you feel like you're in Africa. Like, it's such a great job just like to immerse you in the animals' environment.
So this zoo uses like the exhibits that they have to inform you about the different areas. So like in the South American area, they had different exhibits and informational stands about like the Mayan people. And now here we're in the swamps of Louisiana, and so it's giving us little details about like people that used to live in Acadian, the Acadian area of like Cajun country here in Louisiana. So it's not actually albino alligator, it's called leucism instead of albinism. It's a rare genetic mutation resulting in the absence of melanistic pigment in the skin, like albinism, but they're not the same thing.
They look more like ivory white.
Ivory white rather than pinkish white.
Yeah. One thing you find in Louisiana zoos that you won't find in a lot of other zoos is recipes for all the exhibits.
Not all of them. Recipes for how to cook the animals.
Like, here's some information about what you're looking at, and here's how to make it taste good.
This makes me want to go out in the swamps.
Really? Swim with alligators?
Well, no, it's not swim with alligators, but riding a boat. We did a swamp tour. It was fun. We've done a swamp tour a couple times.
Yes.
Yeah, that's a fun thing to do here.
You can see a lot of alligators on swamp tours.
Mm-hmm. We're leaving Audubon Zoo. We're walking out to the front gate, and this was like such a fun thing to do this afternoon.
It was a great zoo.
Yeah, I loved it. It was really, the animals were starting to get really active, especially towards the later afternoon. It's not too hot today, and like we're here, it's now like an hour before close, so they're starting to like feed them and stuff, so the animals were starting to get active. But there was like a bunch of animals, and like we already talked about, the theming of the different areas was just so nice. My favorite part was the Louisiana swamp area and the white alligators. I think that was like the coolest thing today.
That was really neat.
What was your favorite today?
I think I liked the, I don't know, the Asia area was pretty cool. I loved the theming of it.
Mm-hmm. The only downside was the one thing Ryan mentioned that he wanted to see was tigers. And
tigers, yeah.
We never saw the tigers.
But seeing the jaguars was really cool.
Oh yeah, the jaguar.
That was really neat. And seeing the monkeys was really cool. The howler monkeys.
The howler
were really
monkeys,
fun to watch.
yeah.
Yeah.
So this would be like a great place, especially if you're traveling with kids. But even if you're just adults, a group of adults, and you want to just come hang out at the zoo. It's nice, it's shady, and it's a really nice zoo. All right, before we headed home, we had to have one last breakfast with our family that was in town for the retirement dinner. So anyway, we went to Messina's Runway Cafe, and it's actually in this old airplane terminal, like an airline terminal, where there's a runway that with like small private planes and things.
At the Lakeshore Airport.
At the Lakeshore Airport. And it was really neat because it's an Art Deco style building, and it still looks like what it maybe looked like when it was first built, like in the 40s or 50s. I'm not sure when it was built, but it's a really neat place. And you can kind of sit out on the flight deck and like see the airplanes taking on and off. They're also, like, we had a bigger group, so we kind of sat towards in another area, but it had bigger tables, so it could accommodate larger groups. But breakfast was really good. I had chicken and waffles and some potatoes, some like a side of potatoes, and
I had an omelet.
Yeah.
That was really good. It had cheese in there and some ham, and I also had cheese grits on the side.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so we enjoyed our time there. It's a fun place to stop outside the French Quarter.
Well, we had a blast looking for things to do outside of the French Quarter. It's a lot easy to fall into the, hey, let's go to New Orleans, let's go to the French Quarter vibe. But this trip was awesome. We got to see some amazing sights. We got to go to some beautiful locations and enjoy a lot of great time in nature looking at these beautiful live oak trees that are all over the New Orleans area.
Thanks for watching. We would love it if you would give us a like if this was helpful. Subscribe to our channel to follow for more adventures, and we'll see you next time as we explore shore to shore.
Bye.